things won't change until you do. A lot of times people think once their circumstances magically change, that's when they'll change. But most people don't realize your mentality has to change first before your reality changes. And a lot of times people make changes on the surface. I'm gonna do a new hairstyle. I'm gonna get a new wardrobe. I'm gonna move to a different state. And don't get me wrong, you should do those things if you feel called to. However, truly changing your reality is an inside job first. I left my hometown and moved to Atlanta, but I didn't move with the idea that I'm gonna move to Atlanta so I can become famous, so I can blow up. Once I move to Atlanta, my life is just gonna dramatically change. I wasn't even thinking like that. I changed so much mentally and I transformed so much spiritually that is what led me to move here in the first place. Because if you would have told me 3 years ago, you're going to move to Atlanta, I would have said, no, the hell I'm not. And not because I didn't want to, but because I was too scared to. So I had to mentally and spiritually change first in order for me to even get to this point. My life now compared to 5 years ago is completely different in a good way. But it's not because things just magically change. I just got lucky and everything fell into place. No, it's because I changed on the inside first. And me working on myself, me seeking God, me trusting God, that is what led me to make certain physical changes, like moving to a different state. There's so many things I've done in the past year, some change that the old me would have been terrified to do. But it's not because I just magically gained courage. No, it's because I did the work on myself. You first have to change your mentality. Then you have to change your mindset, how you view yourself, how you perceive yourself, your self-image. Then you have to change your habits. Then you have to change your behavior, how you react to things, how you handle things. And once you've done all that, that's when you have to start taking actions towards the things that you desire, even if it scares the hell out of you. Don't make the mistake of thinking, if I just keep praying and hoping and wishing, maybe one day God will make something happen. No, faith without works is dead. And you wait on God productively. You wait on God patiently. You work while you wait, because yes, there is a such thing as divine timing. You could be doing all the right things, but it might just not be the right time. There's a appointed time for everything, and you just have to trust it. A lot of times, you're not going to understand why God is doing certain things until those things are revealed, but you just have to trust the process. God helps those who help themselves. It's easy to say you have faith in God, but if you're not acting on it, if you're not putting your money where your mouth is, how are you showing God that you trust him and have faith in him? Anybody can say anything, but once you do some shit you scared to do, but you know deep down in your spirit, this is what you have to do, and you just gonna ride it out and trust God. That's when God rewards you for your faithfulness. I'm gonna be real. I was terrified to move here, but I knew deep down in my spirit, this is where God wanted me to be. But I had a lot of fears and doubts and question marks and a bunch of unknowns. I didn't know how I was gonna afford to live here. Honestly, I've never paid this much for rent. But the crazy thing is, it doesn't faze me. It doesn't intimidate me. It doesn't scare me anymore because my mindset has changed so much. I used to be super cheap. As long as it was the cheapest option, that's what I was going with. And I realized in order for me to get something I've never had, I have to be willing to do something I've never done. When I first toured this apartment, I already had made up in my mind I was going to just get the cheapest unit. And when I came to tour the apartment, they showed me the model, which was 750 square feet. And I was like, oh, this is nice. I like this. But I'm really trying to get the cheaper apartment, which is 550 square feet. And she was like, oh, well, luckily we actually have an empty 550 square feet you can see. So I'm like, okay, let me see that one too so I can compare. When I looked at the 550 square feet apartment, I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I feel like I'm living in a box. Like, I can't do this. And even though the old me would have been like, oh, well, we just gonna have to make it work because it's cheaper. The new me, who I am now, who I've transformed into, I was like, nah, F that. I'm gonna get what I really want. So at that point, I was like, let's just go all out. Let's not settle at all. Let's get what we really want. Not only do I want the 750 square feet, I want to be on the top floor. And I want the stainless steel appliances. I don't care how much it costs. I'm going to get what I really want. And me doing that, even though deep down, like, my logical mind was going crazy. Like, do you really think you can afford this? Like, but I was like, yeah, I can because God is my provider. So I'm not going to worry about nothing. I know that God led me here, and I know God don't want me to settle. He want me to trust him. God worked everything out so perfectly. I was a little bit scared because I'm like, this is a little too good to be true. Is this really you, God? Because I can't believe everything I prayed for, I got. I prayed that I could move at the beginning of March and that I could have a unit on the top floor with the stainless steel, with the 750 square feet. I got that. I prayed that my best friend, Jen, shout out to Jen. I prayed that my best friend was the person that was able to help me move. And it was the weekend of her birthday when I moved. And guess what? She still said yes. She had no idea that I prayed to God about her being willing to help me move all the way out of state. And she said yes, even though it was the weekend of her birthday. That was God. Yes, God is a magician. He can make anything happen. He can work miracles. But God ain't just gonna hand stuff to you. God is the creator. But when it comes to your life, you are co-creating your life with God. But it can't be a co-creation if he the only one doing his part. You have to do your part too. Change is scary. I know firsthand. My journey might look like rainbows and butterflies to some people, but I've had a lot of dark nights of the soul where I wanted to throw in a towel. I didn't want to be on this earth anymore. I cried tears of frustration, feeling like giving up, feeling confused, questioning God. Like, I had to overcome so much, but I knew I was worth it. I knew I deserved taking a chance on myself and really pouring into myself. Like I said, things won't change until you do. And it took me a while to realize that. I was just praying for a miracle, praying for something to just magically happen. And every once in a while, yeah, that can happen. But for the most part, you have to do your part. Things won't change until you do. Things won't change until you do. Things won't change until you do. Get this through your head. You have to change the inside. It's an inside job first. Once you've done the work on the inside, then God will give you the next steps to take in the physical realm. Give yourself grace. Be patient with yourself, but don't play about you. Stop being lazy. Stop half-assing and start showing up for yourself. You deserve it. There are so many changes I've been making, but it's because I changed my mentality first, which gave me the balls to do certain things. A few years ago, I would have said, no, I can't do that. That's too much. I'm starting a coaching business. I'm going to start working with people one-on-one. If you need some help, come see me. But a few years ago, I was saying, yeah, when I'm in my 40s or 50s, I could see myself being a spiritual teacher. But right now, I can't do it because of blah, 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 XYZ, just making a bunch of excuses. But really, I was just scared. Because I've transformed my mind, now I have the courage to finally start my business. And there's so many things I've had to do that the old me would have been like, oh, this is intimidating. Oh my God, this is too much. But I just been chilling. I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta pay for this. All right, let me pay it. Oh, I gotta set up this. Okay, let's do it. Like, cause my mentality has changed, which is making my reality slowly change too. Things won't change until you do. And like I said, I know it's scary. And it's okay to be scared. You just have to have courage. You just have to trust God and ask God to order your steps. Ask God to guide you. I pray this message blessed you. If it did, make sure you like it. Please make sure you're subscribed. Leave me a comment. I love y'all. Bye. Peace and blessings.